What is your tips, or what are your tips on networking?
Tips on networking.
And also some books that you can suggest for networking.
Net, I mean, networking books.
Uh,
I don't know, but my favorite networking. So first off, I hate networking. I hate introducing myself. I'm not an extrovert. I hate walking up to strangers and saying hi. So I'm not a natural networker. My favorite thing to do is I have two favorite things to do. One, try to speak and try to speak early. So if you're ever at an event, try to figure it out. Like, how can you speak at that event, and how can you be one of the first speakers at the event, so that the rest of the event people are coming up and talking to you. The speech just basically creates the permission for other people to come and say hi to
Mm.
you. So anytime I'm at an event, I almost never go to an event where I'm not speaking, where I'm just an attendee. It almost never happens. Not that it's a bad strategy, so it's not a great strategy for me. So I try to speak, and then if it's a multi-day thing, like how early on can I speak, so that I'm going to hang out in the lobby for the rest of the event, and then people come and find me and say hi. That's my favorite thing to do. The other thing I love doing is listening. I think the best way to be a good networker is to listen to what people have issues with, what they're trying to do, and remember it, and then try to go introduce them to other people. Because if you spend your time listening to what everybody else wants, you'll figure out connections. Say, "Oh, Zen, you're trying to do this. You should meet Drew. He's doing that," and then you make the introduction. Most of the time, when we're networking, you're just impatiently not even listening, kind of waiting for them to finish talking so that you can do your pitch, because you're just looking out for yourself. Where if you flip it and start actually listening to what people need and then making connections, people naturally want to reciprocate. Like you're the guy, good guy who made that introduction. People want to find ways to help you out back.
Okay, this is great. That was great news. That was great information. I do have one follow-up question. Um, Number one, guys, forgive me, I've got to eat while I'm talking because I got to have energy for you guys. But number two, Evan, how do people actually get themselves in a position so they can speak, so networking flows naturally?
It starts by figuring out what rooms you could actually be in, right? So you start in smaller rooms. There's a lot of events where even if you just offered to speak for free, they would say yes. Like they may not have a speaker budget,
But
or
you have to,
they or they
but you have,
they may and it's all tapped out.
so that's assuming you already established yourself as an expert on that topic.
Well, sure, you
And
have to have you have to have some kind of story to tell. What's your story? But if you're going to go on and talk about Built to Serve, you're going to talk about how to find your purpose. You're going to talk about the who I how. You could pitch people already to speak at their events, and you pitch it as I don't need a budget. Here's what I talk about. I'd be happy to speak at your next event, or if anybody cancels last minute, count me in. I'm there.